We gotta get these last questions in. Dr. Gooch. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. These are some strong words that are used as elements of a healthy relationship. People use commitment, compatible, and submitting in a relationship. So can you tell us, like, those adjectives, how important maybe one or two of them are in this time that we have left?
I think one of, I do a lot of counseling. When I do my counseling, my marital counseling, one of the individuals I use is Ron Edmondson.
Ron DMC?
Ron Edmondson. Oh. And he has some stuff, some literature, resources as it relates to marital counseling, and I use that. And he mentioned something as it relates to commitment, and I'm trying to find it real quickly. But you did say those particular words, commitment, compatibility, and submissive. I think that all those words are pretty vital in relationship. Commitment, it comes with that loyalty, that trust that David was talking about, that safety net. Don't get me wrong, I think every person has to have that level of safety net, that level of trust. But at some point, you still have to let your guard down in order to be loved.
But I have to let my guard down once I feel safe.
I think this right here. I think that every couple have to find out exactly what works for them. It's no surefire recipe, because what worked for me and Sean may not work for you two.
I agree.
So you two have to find those niches that work for you.
Hold on, loose here.
Yeah, you two.
Loose here.
You have to find your niche. And then you make the appropriate adjustment for your relationship. Because as you grow and as you continue to evolve, you're going to change. And your needs are going to change. They're not going to be the same as they were when you were in your 20s,
exactly,
in your 30s, and going forward. In your 40s, things that were once important to you will not be important anymore. And that's where your needs change. And then you grow and you're able to express and communicate what it is that you're feeling without afraid of being judged or anticipating that somebody's going to look at you differently.
Well, let me say this. The single most important component of a relationship to you. Well, this author said this as well.
No, say to you.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to say that Dr. Smalley and his wife said.
Dr. Smalley and his wife can't talk for me, so say for you.
No, they said that honor is one of the first and the first step of love and one of the single most important principles for building an intimate relationship.
Well, guess what? I'm reading Dr. John Gottman and Sylvia.
And he said honor is the bedrock of satisfying a relationship.
And they have 7 principles for making the marriage work, and one of them is friendship. It's very important. That's one of the first principles that they put in their book. So what I'm saying is there are going to be arguments. And everybody's going to always have these recipes for you to use. It's just like going in the clothing store. You buy what you need, and what you don't, you leave it hanging on the rack.
That's not true. I steal it. We got a caller. Caller, you live on the Unleash Yours for the LGBTQ community. Talk to me.
And I ain't put no money on your book.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I think I can answer.
Did I tell you don't call her?
That's not the same one.
Yes, it is. Yeah, didn't I tell you don't call here? I told you don't call here. Didn't I tell your ignorant boy don't call this radio station? Don't you call here no more. Don't you call here no more. Don't you call here no more. You stupid butt.
Loose here. Okay, back to the thing.
I find that very, very striking that, you know, if he's...
He loves this radio station, honey. He down low. He got issues. He wants to come out the closet. Come on out the closet, honey, because every Saturday you listen to this radio show. You carry some perversion over there. You got some undiscovered issues that you need to let out. Don't be afraid. And everybody, they're going to talk about you because you've been lying and living a double life. Leave them little boys alone because you need to get with a grown man. That's not right. So stop calling this radio show. We're not going to give you no tips for how to deal with your unresolved homosexual issues. We're not going to do that. Go buy you a book. Go to the bookstore down there on Brooks Road. Somebody might help you out. Anyway.
In the words of this great poet by the name of Michael Jackson, just leave me alone. Now back to this. What were you talking about?
I want to say, I think of
how
those...
he get a cell phone? They don't even get up but 60 minutes a month on that phone he did.
Loose here!
Stop using your minutes up calling us.
Loose here! Okay.
Right. I think out of those 3 words you said, commitment, compatibility, and submission. I think the most important out of those three, I would say, is commitment. And the reason that I would say commitment is if you go back and for those that have been married or attempted to get married, I think in some of those traditional marriages you have the phrase "to death do us part." And I think that commitment lies there. Even in a whole lot of relationships, and we've been together almost 15 years, and it's
not.
And it's not that.
No, we have not.
And people have to understand that
13.
you know we have. You will have bumps and bruises in a relationship, and just because you experience those particular pains in those relationships does not mean that you throw your hands up and move on. You know, there's a potential where you have to learn in those particular moments to persevere, to have some long suffering and some endurance in those particular relationships.
I agree. And I think that one thing that I found in my 6th year, that it takes a lot of talking. We purposely and intentionally make time to talk every day. Every day. No phones, no TV, no interruption. If it's just for an hour, we just sit down and talk about each other day to show an interest. And we take care of each other, and we make sure that we often let each other know, we not often, we always let each other know how important we are to each other. And it hasn't changed at all. And it's like a baby. It's like a baby. You gotta nurture it. You gotta nurture your relationship. That's what we found that really works for us, and it's important to keep the home fire burning, you know, because it's gonna fizzle a little bit, but you keep adding some logs to it, and you keep the home fire burning. You don't let it burn out. You don't let it burn out. Don't you put that man back on this phone, because I might get kicked out the radio.
Cut her microphone off, please. Cut her all the way off. So, I think. What about praying together?
Praying together.
Yeah, couples that pray together.
I think it's important. What you think, Doc?
That's where that equally yoked piece come into play. You know, what about those, you know, that are in relationships? One is a Christian, one that's not a Christian. So do you pray together then? Or is the one that's an unbeliever readily acceptable to actually allowing you to pray for them? You do have individuals that are in relationship. One is a Christian, one is an atheist. They may not believe in everything that you believe in. How do your relationship stand strong, knowing or experiencing one that is a Christian, one that is an unbeliever? And I think that goes back to what Gwen was saying about how it may work for them. Mm-hmm. Whereas it may not work for somebody else, you know, that may have an individual that's a Christian in a relationship as well as one that's an unbeliever in a relationship, because it does exist.
Well, okay, this is my thing. Well, how can you be, I think, personally, you have to be some type of spiritually neutral in a relationship as far as married couples, to make it really, really work, to have a good relationship. Because if you're not spiritually neutral, all hell's gonna break loose, and it's gonna break loose periodically. It's gonna break loose more frequent. So I think you have to have some type of spirituality connection to be in a relationship with somebody long term.
I think it depends on where the importance you place your
values.
How important it is on your things that you need. Because, you know, like me, I had to learn myself to figure out what was really, really important to me in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And what's really, really important to me in a relationship is honesty. Mm-hmm. I value honesty over anything. I cannot deal with a dishonest person. Mm-hmm. I hate a liar. I hate a cheater. You know, I used to be a cheater, but I don't like them anymore.
It goes back to my safety.
But no, these are things that's important to me. And those are like deal breakers. And it took me to understand it. Mm-hmm. So everybody always had these things that's important to them. For you, it might be really, really important for you that your partner be equally yoked with you. You see what I mean? So I think we all got our own things that we bring in. But see, I want to ask David, of course, I want to see how well you know your partner. What is your partner's favorite music?
I don't know.
What's his favorite 3 movies?
He listen and watch whatever I watch. We got 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Because he's so selfish, he'll go to sleep with the TV on and tell me don't turn it off. And I'm trying to go to sleep. Full of hair. Loose hair! Dr. Gooch, come out of here! I mean, the TV just blasting. And I was like, can I turn? I'm watching it. You alive! You sleep!
Another happy couple.
God!
Just like all the other happy couples.
Dr.
I
Gooch,
mean, my goodness.
what's David's 3 favorite movies?
His favorite movies?
3 favorite movies.
I would say his I say sports, although that's not a movie.
Ain't no movie, that's him.
Muhammad Ali.
Although it's not a movie, he watched more sports than anything.
Come on.
And then I would say his other one would be what do he call his blues? His fine art.
That's not a movie.
I know it's not a movie,
My
but
brush.
that is his next
His
favorite,
DVD.
right?
No.
His fine art.
No.
His favorite movie
Right.
to America.
No, it's not. It's Get On Up by James Brown. We got 1 minute left. This is the Unleashed Voice. We'll be back on next week. Dr. Gooch, you got like 20 seconds. Say bye.
I just want to say thank you all for having me here again on your show. I appreciate those that have called in. I hope that something was said that will help you in your endeavors to help your relationship and develop you as an individual to continue to bless your relationship and to make a healthier you.
If you would like to advertise on our show, look us up on relationshipunleashed.com. We'll be back on next Saturday. This is the Unleashed Voice. Do what?
Floridia Jackson.
When?
Next Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, sister number 1, we'll be here. Ow!
Yeah. We'll be back next Saturday with Floridia Jackson coming in the house. Well, thank you, Cathedral Praise. Stand up, Dr. Gooch.
Yes.
AM 990, the talk radio, the Unleashed Voice for the LGBTQ community. This is Gwen and Davian and the doctor, and we're out.
Be clear.